All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We are unpacking what has literally been a chaotic, totally wild summer for Manchester United, and more importantly, what this whole shebang means for your fantasy Premier League squad. We're looking at an absolute masterclass in front office pivoting and tactical restructuring for the 2026-27 season. If you're managing an FPL team right now, you're going to want to pay super close attention to the data we're about to uncover. Let's get into it.
So here's our quick roadmap for today. 1. The great midfield rebuild. 2. Securing Youri Tielemans. 3. The fan verdict. 4. FPL opening fixtures. And 5. The FPL must-haves.
Starting off with Part 1, the great midfield rebuild and a summer of change.
Okay, so the absolute crucial thing to understand here is the massive domino effect that basically tore up United's original summer plans. First off, you've got Casemiro packing up and leaving Old Trafford for Inter Miami, which obviously leaves this huge leadership void, right? Then Manuel Ugarte goes down with a knee injury, suddenly stripping Michael Carrick of his established options. So the front office scrambles, they actually agree to a nearly £39 million fee for Atalanta's Ederson, only for the guy to fail his medical right after the World Cup. I mean, you can't write this stuff. This insane sequence of a sudden exit, a bad injury, and a failed medical totally forced their hand, leading straight to step 4, which was pulling the trigger on Youri Tielemans' release clause.
Which brings us to Part 2, securing Youri Tielemans, the ultimate solution.
Now, the most fascinating part of this pivot is this exact figure right here, £35 million. That's the fixed release clause United triggered to swoop in and essentially hijack this deal. With Ederson's medical completely stalling out, Ionos and the board made the super swift, pragmatic choice to just abandon that pursuit and immediately throw the cash at a proven Premier League asset. And bonus, Tielemans actively wanted the move to Old Trafford.
And just look at the resume Tielemans is bringing with him. The guy's 29, he's got a whopping 244 Premier League appearances. He was literally Aston Villa's player of the season, helped drag them to Champions League football, plus he's a Europa League winner. Oh, and add 90 caps for Belgium to the mix, having just captained them at the World Cup. Sure, he picked up a tiny hamstring issue warming up against Spain, but tactically, his progressive passing is absolutely exactly what United needs, so they don't have to rely 100% on Bruno Fernandes to move the ball up the pitch.
Moving to Part 3, the fan verdict. Old Trafford reacts.
You might be wondering how the fans are taking this, right? Well, the social proof from Reddit shows they are actually pretty thrilled. One fan absolutely hit the nail on the head, calling him a head down and do the work player, which is exactly the vibe that dressing room is starving for. The overall consensus? Bringing in this experienced, gritty mentality is 100% the right remedy for the squad right now.
In this comparison perfectly sums up why fans are on board. When you look at Tielemans, a £35 million core player who literally just helped a rival finish 4th, and you stack that against, say, Sandro Tonali, who cost Newcastle £100 million, only for them to finish 12th, it feels like incredibly smart, pragmatic business. And hey, pragmatic business is definitely not a phrase we're used to associating with Manchester United, right? The value is just undeniable.
So, what we're witnessing here is a massive shift in club policy. And honestly, everyone's praising it. Fans, and even those really historically critical voices like Mark Goldbridge, are totally backing the decision to finally ditch that strict under-25 signing rule. United is finally prioritizing readiness, real leadership, and proven quality over just raw youth. And frankly, a midfield that just lost Casemiro desperately needs exactly that.
All right, Section 4, FPL, the opening fixtures and Carrick's dream start.
Now, if you're an FPL manager, listen up, because this opening schedule is an absolute goldmine. Carrick seriously could not have asked for a softer landing for his first full season. They kick things off against promoted clubs, away at Hull City, then home against Ipswich Town. And get this, outside of that massive home Manchester derby in Game Week 4, United totally dodges last season's top 10 for the entire first 5 weeks.
That brilliant run gives them an average fixture difficulty rating of just 2.8. To put that into perspective for you, that is the second easiest opening schedule in the entire Premier League across the first 5 game weeks, sitting just barely behind Liverpool. We are talking prime elite territory for early FPL points here.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, FPL, the must-haves and essential assets.
Okay, so we know the fixtures are brilliant, but who do you actually need in your squad? Well, look at this number, 129. That is the staggering amount of FPL points Bruno Fernandes racked up from Game Week 22 onwards, right after Michael Carrick took the wheel last season.
Let's break that down, because Bruno's form under Carrick is literally breathtaking.
We're talking 4 goals, 16 assists, and 7 double-figure returns in only 17 starts. He outscored his closest teammate, who, by the way, was Casemiro, by a ridiculous 51 points. The guy wasn't just in a different league. It's like he was playing a completely different sport. And now, with Tielemans there to carry some of that ball progression burden, Bruno is going to be even more freed up. He is the absolute no-brainer, essential premium captain for your Game Week 1 squad. Seriously, do not overthink this one.
Now, what if you're hunting for a sneaky breakout candidate? Let's geek out on some underlying attacking data from the back half of last season. Benjamin Sesko was absolutely firing, taking a shot every 28.2 minutes with 8 big chances. But check out Patrick Dorgu, a shot every 33.2 minutes, matching Mateos Cunha for big chances, and he did it playing 800 fewer minutes. These guys are posting genuinely elite numbers.
But wait, here is your massive FBL cheat code. Patrick Dorgu is currently classified as a defender in the game, but in reality, under Carrick, because of an injury crisis, he actually played as a left winger, and he scored in all 3 of his starts, finding the back of the net against City, against Arsenal, and dropping a goal and an assist against Brighton. Dorgu offers just insane out-of-position value. If he somehow keeps that defender tag this season, he is a literal secret weapon that you absolutely have to exploit.
Looking at the backline, if you're chasing those precious clean sheet points, the data strongly points you toward Noussair Mazraoui. Under Carrick, United looked way more solid at the back with Mazraoui on the right. They bagged 4 clean sheets in his 5 starts. Compare that to Diogo Dalot, who managed the same 4 clean sheets, but it took him 13 starts to get there. The contrast is super stark, making Mazraoui your clear defensive target.
And when you fold in the rest of United's incredibly savvy summer business, like dropping £50 million for Andrey Santos from Chelsea to really anchor that midfield, grabbing Carl Darlow on a 3-year deal as a rock-solid backup keeper, and even bringing wonder kid JJ Gabriel up to first-team training, this squad all of a sudden looks tactically complete and crazy deep.
So look, it's undeniably a brand new era at Old Trafford. They've completely rebuilt their midfield strategy on the fly, injected some serious Premier League pedigree, and they've been handed an absolute dream opening run of fixtures. The data is literally staring us right in the face. So the only question left to ask is, are you brave enough to back them in your fantasy team this year? Think it over, crunch those numbers, and get your drafts ready. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.